Yo, shake. Them I gotta keep myself protected. Shopping list got rollies and protection. I don't wanna hit by your investments. Only hit me when in full effect. Gotta keep my circle tight and vetted. If I damn said it, then I'm in it. It's the only thing I like now. It's the only thing I like now. I know. You don't need to tell me twice, you know I know. I can never slow it down, I'm money low. Shawty massage on my neck and let it go. Do you see that? I've been moving around the new Mercedes G-Class. Tryna find y'all better than me. You know where you stepping and me moving like it's 10 to me. I know. You don't need to tell me twice.
Hello. Welcome back to my channel and another video. Today is going to be a good day. Today is a good day. I am actually about to log on to a anatomy class I'm taking for my Pilates certification. I started my Pilates certification earlier this year. I took my first class, I believe it was in either ending of January, early February. And that one was in person. And that was movement principles. This one is an anatomy course. It's not required for the certification, but it's highly recommended. So I am taking the course online. So there's been quite a bit of a gap. It's been 7 months since I've taken like an actual class, but like obviously I've been practicing Pilates like for myself and also been trying to read up for my notes from the last class that I took. But there's still so much more to do and so much more to go. Okay. Ideally, my plan for this Pilates certification, I don't know if I want to be fully like a full comprehensive certified teacher, which would be like mat, reformer, and chair and other apparatuses. But I know I definitely want to do mat and reformer. But for now, I'm actually just going to do mat. I want to do mat completely, test out, teach a little bit. Maybe, I don't know if I really want to teach yet or not. But like teach a little bit and then go back and do reformer. So that's kind of my plan. This is a 3-day class. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m. Eastern. The studio is actually based on the West Coast. So for them, it's going to be 1 to 4. So I like how they also broke it up like 4 hours every day. It's going to be super chill. But yeah, let me log on before I'm late. Camera's on. I'm currently logged in and they want camera on for the entire thing. And I hate that.
All right.
I figured, but I hate it.
So 105, we're going to go ahead and start. Welcome to anatomy in 3D. Of course, we're not doing the clay. It is a very straightforward course that I'm just going to take you through the info that Balanced Body wants you to be familiar with. It's a lot of information. I'll be taking you through the PowerPoint, which was given to you a slightly different variation. Hi.
I'm Christy Taiwo-Makanjuola.
Nice.
I'm in DC. I live in DC.
Okay.
This is my second course, so I've taken movement principles. And I'm working towards doing my mat certification first and then testing out of that. And then we'll probably come back for reformer and maybe the comprehensive. I don't know. We'll see how far I go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
That's good. And you know that when you test out, just for everyone to know too, when you test out, you pay a fee to test out. And it's the same fee, whether it's a mat reformer, or comprehensive. So each time you take it, you pay that same fee each time. Do you know that?
Yeah, I was told.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. So if you have a ball right now, can you try so you can feel the sensation?
We're currently taking a 15-minute break. We are an hour and a half into this. Okay. And the information is a lot. Like, it's just a lot of information and she's going by very, very fast. I had to ask her, I was like, hey, so pause. How should we best utilize our time? Because there's a lot of information and you're going really fast. So let me know. She said she's going to point out basically what pages we need to like know in the book. Unfortunately, I don't have my book. I tried to register 2 weeks ago. It was closed. Like literally I had looked the day before and then the day after when I actually was ready to pay, it was full. So I reached out and was like, hey, can y'all add me to the class? Like it's online, like just add one more person kind of vibe. And they were like, you need to reach out to the instructor and see if they're cool with that. I reached out to the instructor. She said she was cool with that. So then they reached out to Balanced Body, who I'm doing the certification through. And they added me to the course. Now, Balanced Body took forever to ship my book. Okay. I called them and they're like, oh, it's usually 4 to 5 days to process, or they said 3 to 4 days to process, business days to process, and then like 3 to 4 days to get it. And I was like, I don't think that's what happened the first time I registered for a class, but sure. They just emailed me that they sent out my book today. FedEx doesn't even have the book yet. Like, they just created the label. So I don't think I'm getting this book this weekend at all, which at this point is fine. But luckily, there's an online version PDF, so they sent that to me. So I'm referencing right now the PDF on my laptop, and then I also have my MacBook here, or sorry, my iPad here that I'm using. But it's just like page after page after page after page after page. I took a picture of some of the slides and was like trying to take notes. I'm still taking down notes as she's going. And this was stuff like, I remember being in undergrad and just like, even in grad school, like just school in general, like having to take notes when you're listening to the lecturer. It's like sometimes like if they go way too fast, it's just like impossible. You just feel defeated. You're just like, I'm not going to get all this. So like, let me just stop. Like that's how I felt. So that's why I was like, hey, I have a question. Like, I'm sure like other people in the class were feeling that same way, but like didn't have the words or didn't want to say anything. So she's like, oh, that's a good question. Like, honestly, just take it up like a sponge. She's like, you don't even really need to take notes. There's no way you're going to memorize all this. It's just so much. Just take it up as like a sponge, soak it in. It's your first time hearing this stuff, maybe. And she'll give us like, there is a quiz at the end. It's a quiz, but really like she's giving us the page numbers as we go along and where we can find the answers for the quiz. And then at the end, we're all going to go through the quiz together and she's going to give us the answers. And those quizzes are what we should study because apparently they will be on the final test out exam. So that makes me feel much better. Although I feel a little bit weird not taking notes, it makes me feel a little bit better. Now, I did also get these 2 books from Amazon. This is the Science of Pilates by Tracy Ward, and then this is the Human Coloring book. They're both anatomy books. They were recommended to me by like some other Pilates instructors that said that they really recommend these. So I bought these from Amazon just for personal use. Balanced Body does have their own book. I don't think I'm even going to get that book until next week. So yeah, a lot of information, not enough time in these like 16-hour weekends, but I can test out whenever I want. And that's the thing. That's also part of the reason why I went with Balanced Body. There's so many like ways you can get certifications and through different companies. But like Balanced Body for me was the one because you can break it up instrumentally. You don't have to pay for the whole thing at once. Like you can pay per class, which is kind of like a payment plan within itself. And when you're ready and you can do it at like your own pace. So I like that. I ideally thought I was going to be able to test out of this and finish the mat portion by the end of the summer. I thought I would be able to do it in like 6 months. That's not going to happen. It's not even going to happen in a year. I don't think I'm going to be able to test out a mat until like ending of next year, if I'm being real. Because I still have to take mat 1, mat 2, mat 3. I still need to do my self-practice hours and my student teaching hours. And then make sure I'm feeling confident enough to test out, right? So, and also what I've also realized is like DMV area doesn't have a lot of options in terms of different studios that we can go to and take these classes. So I might need to travel. So all that's going to like extend my time a little bit. And I don't just want to take like all my classes at one studio because I want to be able to learn from different instructors and kind of have like a well-rounded kind of like learning experience, if that makes sense. The class I took in February, I learned a lot, like even just about my body and how to like, I'm flat foot and I also have scoliosis, right? I also have a cookie knee. So like I learned like how things can feel different in my body and things to kind of like help me in my journey, which was really nice. But I want to be able to talk to different instructors and not just take it all with one instructor, if that makes sense. So this is going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take a little bit of time, but I'm excited. I'm falling more in love with Pilates every day. I started Pilates, honestly, it was recommended to me when I was living in LA by my orthopedic surgeon. Like I was having, ever since like we've been online with COVID and stuff, I was having like a lot of back pain and just working from home, like a lot of back pain. And he was like, you check my scans. He's like, yeah, you do have a little bit of scoliosis, but it's not enough to operate. So like, let's do PT, and after PT you may want to look into like Pilates or something. And I was just like, what is this Pilates thing? I tried out one class. I was like, whoa, I love this. Like it was very intense. The performer was very intense. I felt the burn, but it was fun, right? And now even like ever since leaving LA. LA is great for Pilates. There's just a lot of options there, especially reformer. Since leaving LA, moving to DC, like there's a lot more mat options here, or just like yoga options, which I'm not really big into that, but like just mat options in general. So I'm now a mat girly, and like mat is more accessible because like you can do it from home with YouTube, which I tend to do a lot. And then I can also go to like studio. So I thought like same thing, like if I'm teaching mat, I can teach mat anywhere. Like I can teach mat from home, on YouTube, go to studios, whatever. Reformer, you actually need a reformer, which is also part of the reason I'm holding off on reformer, because I would need to either buy my own reformer to self-practice or like find a studio and rent time for that, which is more of an extra expense. This is expensive. This entire process is expensive, but it's good. It's good information. So I'm just going to try to sit and, like she said, take it all in like a sponge, just listen. She'll mark out the places that's like, this will be on the test. She'll mark it, let us know, and I'll make a note of it. But it's a lot already going on. I've been yapping my mouth here for like 6 or 7 minutes now. So let me go ahead and take my break for the next 6 or 7 minutes before we hop back online. She is super cute though. Like I think she's like in her 50s or so, or 60s. But like she's a doll. Anyways, let me go take a break, and yeah, we'll be back.
You need to know your outer units. What muscles are involved for the outer units? Right? And you also want to know what the muscles do.
Wine, take a wine, baby, hold me, oh, baby, hold me, oh. Take it down with your body, oh. Gotta be the best for a holy man.
So if the last question, if my right leg tilts out more to my right, then I want to strengthen my IT band. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, you know the IT band area and that muscle, the vastus lateralis. That leads us into...
I have a lot of knee issues, so I love learning about the knee.
Now the adductors, these are the ones that Christy would want to work on if she's the lateral side of her thigh, her IT band, those are working strongly. These are the muscles, Christy, you would want to work on in order to help the patella to not track to the outside.
When I'm like doing like a... I forget what the actual name is, but it's like when you're on the mat and your knee is up and like your legs are long, rotating one at a time. I forget.
Single leg stretch, but not with the hands?
Correct, okay. Yes. My knee or my hip will sometimes like make a noise or like, yeah. And I'm not sure if it's because of incorrect form or if that's normal or...
It's common.
What's
very common.
Okay.
All right. It's your psoas basically rubbing against your leg bone. That's what, you know, it's kind of like in the way. So.
Okay. It is dark, as y'all can see. I'm going to close my blinds. We're done with class. We are done with class. We finished 40 minutes early. I also am realizing that usually the classes are 16 for like these certifications are 16 hours. Oops, sorry guys. Usually the classes for these certifications are 16 hours, but this weekend is actually only 12. And she's saying that it's only going to be 12 because of the fact that it's online, so that we're not really going to be building any skeletons. And she even ended 40 minutes early today. We might end early every day this week is kind of the vibe she's giving. So it's really going to be even less than 12 hours. Hey, a sleigh is a sleigh. I also think it's less than 12 hours because she's like literally going this fast, like so fast. But like, again, whatever it is she wants to do. I will say classes like this I don't tend to like. The other class was low-key kind of like this as well too, but like a little slower. It was a little slower and also, yeah, it was actually a lot slower. It was still like a lot of information and like, oh, I don't know what to like write down kind of thing. But like what I really liked about that class, I think also because we were in person, was that like I was able to ask questions. We were able to see it in our bodies and things like that. We did a little exercise on the floor today. That I will say is the disadvantage of being online. And I think specifically this lady, like this instructor, she just zips through the content like that. I do have 2 questions that I'm going to ask her. I went to ask her today and I forgot, but 2 questions I'm going to ask her tomorrow. One is about core, and I'm determined to ask every single person I like take a class with about bracing your core. What does that mean? Because I don't know, like, if you guys have noticed, but like, I feel like every time I'm in a class, bracing your core means something different. Sometimes it means like your belly button to your ribs, like so basically like sucking in your stomach. Sometimes it means like inflating your stomach, like someone is about to like punch you and like you're like bracing, like literally bracing your core. Like, so I feel like it's the second one, but like sometimes they'll be like in classes, like people will be like, brace your core, engage your core, like belly to stomach. And I'm just like, how am I doing belly to stomach, but also then inflating my belly or like my core and like my abs as if I'm being prepared to be punched? It's a little bit difficult. Like, so I don't know. I'm going to ask her to see what her perspective is. I've yet to find someone who can explain this to me very well. I've searched TikToks, I've searched everything, and still I'm just not really getting it. Again, I feel like it's just so many different meanings. So I want to see what this woman says to see if that makes sense. And then I also want to ask her, because she also mentioned that she tends to inflate her ribs like when she's doing certain movements and positions. Me too, especially when I'm doing standing exercises. Like you'll see like sometimes my ribs are flaring out a little bit too much, and I actually didn't realize until February when I was taking my first class, movement principles, with the other instructor, and she had told us to do some kind of exercise, and my ribs were out. Like it's like this, and she was like, "Ooh, okay, put your press back in." And then, but she caught me doing that throughout the whole weekend. So she would always like correct me. She told me, she's like, you need to be mindful. Like you have a tendency to your ribs to flare out when you're doing certain positions and movements. And it's true. When she clocked me, I said, oh, damn. That's true. But yeah, other than that, pretty good class. I'm actually about to make dinner. I meal prepped some salmon and I have some veggies and sweet potatoes. And I'm about to watch the story of Amanda Knox. There's a Hulu series that's happening right now that I'm loving. And it's making me want to learn Italian, but I know better. I will not fall for the trick. I'm still right now struggling with Portuguese. And right now I'm in my I hate Portuguese phase. Like I don't even want to hear it. There's some Portuguese people that I follow, Brazilian people that I follow on Instagram. I just heard one of them speaking in Portuguese. I said, girl, I don't want to hear this tap. Because Portuguese is just blowing me right now, and I stopped. But I need to actually get back on it because I really do want to learn it, because I do want to take a trip to Brazil and I need to know Portuguese like a good amount before I go. But Italian is sounding real. But I know the trick. The trick is I'm gonna start learning Italian and realize that it's actually more complicated than Spanish. It's also more complicated than it looks and sounds, and I'm gonna be annoyed. And I've already kind of peeped it because there was something that they said in the show. I forget what it was, and it was like a phrase. Like I think it was like it wasn't me or something, or I didn't do it. The guy was like, I was supposed to protect you, and I didn't do it. And he said it in Italian, and I like repeated it, tried to like search it up, and then when I saw like how it's actually spelled, I said what he said and how it's pronounced, 2 different things. I'm not into languages like that. I respect Spanish because Spanish looks the way it sounds. Anyways, I'm about to eat dinner and watch that show. That show was really good. First episode was a little, second episode maybe 2, maybe also because I wasn't really fully locked in. But third episode, yeah, I'm locked in now. They fired up. I'm fired up. I'm on the 5th episode. I'm about to lock in even more. I wish there was more episodes. They're releasing them once a week. But it's the same girl from Tell Me Lies, if you guys are familiar with that show. And that show is so good. I've done a lot of talking today. I'm very, very yappy, as y'all know. Tomorrow is a whole new day. A pretty packed day. Exciting day, but a packed day. And then I have class in the evening. So, yeah.